in this year's Super Bowl, and we've got a classic in store between the Atlanta Falcons and the Austin Desperados. One of these teams will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl in 2 weeks' time. Which will it be as we're underway in the NFC title game? So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. And a glance here at the vet. He's got a lot of years under his belt in the National Football League. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3. Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Finding time. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Taking it about the 16. A strong running. It looked like he might beat that last man. He doesn't, though, but it goes as a 32-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he cuts it right sideline. It's a pickup of 21. And that'll give him a first down. All week in practice, they stressed grounding, pounding the football, and they really executed it well there to get the first down.
That usually means getting back to being physical in practice, because when you emphasize pounding the football, it doesn't really come together unless you practice it the same way you're going to play it in the game. That means more bodies, more pads, and a whole lot of popping last week, and they got it done in the game. Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to...
And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. Their big tight end. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And his guys have taken a first-quarter lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Atlanta now coming out on the field. So back to live action. Let's see what this offense can do here on this play. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Now let's go. 3-19.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Cuts it out to the sideline. And all the way in for the touchdown. A great effort there. 50. offense back out there now. Let's see what they can put together. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Now a handoff here to his running back. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. And ready now for 2nd and 9.
All right, here we go.
Back to throw. Looking deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. A big play there. 48 yards. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
And he'll go out of bounds down inside the 15-yard line. 13 yards there on the pickup, and that'll be good enough for the first.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 8. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary now on 3rd. He'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he will take it in for the touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver from... And they'll go on the ground. And a decent gain there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Give him 4 yards on the play, and that will lead us into the 2-minute warning. And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down. You're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
They come out here in the eye. Looking to throw. This will be caught inside the 10. Touchdown! Their dangerous wide receiver with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. That's a nice catch, but unable to stay in bounds. And remember, it wasn't a wide receiver who works on that all the time.
I was going to say, he likes to get the ball handed to him. Now, don't get me wrong, he's part of the passing game as well, but maybe a little out of his comfort zone there.
Yeah, he might want to have a few words to say to us about that later, but I am still going with you on that one. Wide receivers work on a little bit more.
And the offense moving quickly to the line. They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. Surveying the field. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. First down, he'll drop to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They'll look to throw now on first down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll set up to throw. He's got time. Great protection. Wide open receiver complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. 1 receiver left. 3 to the right. Again, he'll drop to throw. That's caught at the 3. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And his kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So they're still down, but they are able to salvage 3 here heading into the lockers.
This is what you work on from the beginning of training camp. Heading into the half, put some points on the board. No matter what the score says at that point, you've accomplished what you set out to do.
They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to look deep down the field. And got his man complete. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
And they extend their lead, a little added cushion into the lockers. What a way to finish.
Tremendous way. That's momentum that they carry in with them. Can they convert it and bring it back out?
Well, we're going to let you off a little easy there, LR. Halftime interrupted, and we are ready to get to this 3rd quarter. This is taken at his 4. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And here now the offense heading back out there. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. They'll give it to him right up the gut. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and end of the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on.
And he is going to lose yardage here. He went backwards 5 yards there on third down to bring up fourth.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker board?
Yeah, those two. Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. The Falcons send out their punter as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. Fielded just inside the 20. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on our side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments, and you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Sliding out of the pocket. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And now another one thrown incomplete. So the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot, but they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. 42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And it'll be Falcon football as they take possession. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time. Really tough drive, but that run helped salvage something there because now there's something positive that came out of it. We got to see good blocking, good push by the offensive line, wide receivers trying to get involved, a good run by the back. And now maybe it'll be a catalyst for them to look at going forward, watching it on tape. Maybe they can keep incorporating that type of a run into their offense.
And some changes here as the D-line separates some. They'll run it now out of the gun. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
No, check, Patriots! Patriots!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
They'll look to throw here, and that is incomplete. It's one of those ones that is so hard to judge, but defensive holding there, that's what the referee saw.
Let's go! 3-19! 3-19!
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And he comes back with one complete. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. And a nice pitch and catch to pick up the reception against man coverage.
Both of them read how much yardage they needed, figured what they had to do, and were able to beat the man coverage for the completion.
39! 56, Mike, 56, right there.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard to go for the 1st. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground.
Let's go!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's got time in the pocket. And that's going to be incomplete. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. Here's the option going right. And he is going to lose yardage here. Losing 4 yards that time. And now it's 4th down. So out comes the field goal team once more. From the right hash. This from 48. And his kick is right there. It's good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So another 3 on the board there, and he's been a lone bright spot here. That's now 4 field goals.
And that's nice, but if this offense had finished a few more drives, we might be looking at a completely different ball game. Instead, when you're trading field goals for touchdowns, that's a losing proposition.
And now back out comes the offense. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
Here we go!
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone. Well, partner, they've been running it well the entire game, and the big guys up front, they're a huge reason why. And now they're reaping the benefits as they continue to open up big holes and gain nice yardage.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game. Another good run there, and now we're seeing an offense that's imposed its will on a defense. When we talk about that all the time, what does it really mean? It means that the guys on the offensive line, they feel like they can do whatever they want. They're in the huddle saying, run it again. Give us another chance to smack someone and create some space. On the defensive side of the ball, Not only have they imposed their will against you, you're almost powerless to figure out what you're doing there.
Back now in Austin. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. They come out here in the eye. And he'll give it here to his running back. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. Shreds the tackle, able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
And the play goes nowhere, losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39.
But that certainly felt like an example of the defense just saying, okay, we've had enough. We've gotten mashed all night long. About time we got a good play in. But flip it over to the offensive side. They've got to be really upset that they allowed a play like that to happen. They were pitching such a great game, they want to keep it going.
Back to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Give him 18 yards on that one. And on 4th and long, somehow they're able to keep the drive going. And they're going to speed things up here.
All right, here we go. 3-19. Leopard.
They go play action here on 1st down. Wide open receiver, complete. He got 29 yards that time. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
They'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. Their big tight end, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And this offense continues to pour it on.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons cut into that lead. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy, who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
And it looks like this one won't work out. Hands team able to secure the football. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Finding time. Throwing right, and that's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They'll get 17 yards there. And that enables them to also pick up the 1st. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish. The strategy would tell you, run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. First and goal from the 1 as they look to punch it in. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
He's had a big game tonight, and while no one's going to be overly concerned about that last play, you also know that the offense coordinator does not want to see that happen again. They want to get back to doing what they've been doing all game long.
They'll set up to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a third down. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field.
And it's caught. Touchdown. Their big-bodied receiver. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And this offense is running away with this one. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1 play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1 play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Time for a break. Back with more in the NFC Championship game after this. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Surveying the field. Look at the time. Going to throw right side here, complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10 to the 7. 23 yards on the play. And now a 1st down following that long gain. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. 1 receiver left, 3 to the right. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And too much on that one. It's out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. I can't imagine we'd see another throw here. 3rd and goal from the 1.
All right, here we go.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
And that was a nice play. He knocked it away, but obviously you want the interception in this situation. You want to take away any chance that they have any decision to make on 4th down. But things happen so quickly in the end zone in this compressed area of the field that you're just happy to knock it away and not allow a touchdown.
And his kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
The Falcons defense gearing up as they take the field. Now, they have not had their best performance tonight in this one, partner.
And you know it's tough, and I don't know how it is for you, but building towards a night game, that crescendo.
I didn't play.
But
you tell me.
But us getting ready to broadcast, sometimes you want to do it a little bit earlier, right? You feel your peak coming. Maybe that's what happened with them, that somewhere in the day they should have kicked off earlier because by the time we got to the night, things tended to fall flat.
They'll come out in the pistol. That one looks like he'll throw here. Wide open receiver complete. And he's brought down after a good game. And what a big-time play there. And even 40 yards. And we're hitting the end of this one, and it looks to probably be the final play. They come out here in the eye. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Rolling to his right. And it's incomplete. Still throwing to the very end. But now this game is over.
one. I'm Larry.
Now a big third down situation. What can this defense do? What will they do to try to get this to fourth down? And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They'll look to throw here. And it's a short one here, complete to the top. And they're on third and short. They just tried to spread the... Now a handoff here to his running back. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
And to give this time to the tailback. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Coach hinted to us that we may see some old power football here in this game. We got a taste of it on that first down run.
I love how he hinted it to us, and then when we were watching practice, we were watching what they call inside drill, the offensive and defensive line, and they kept putting more defenders on the other side and saying, block that. I don't care how many guys are in there. I want to run the football this week. And, boy, it has paid off for them in this game.
It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
Cuts back, left sideline. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. That one good for 12 yards. And that'll lead here to a third down.
In today's NFL, when you get teams in long yardage situations with your defense, you're really going to go to your speed packages. You're going to get smaller, lighter guys on the field in order to cover the expected pass. So they might want to run the ball against a smaller, lighter lineup with your big guys, and that's exactly what happened on that play. It was tough on them, and now instead of being in third and very long, they ended up setting themselves up in third and manageable. They've got a chance at a first down. And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL, and a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses, and now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one.
Well, you feel the excitement build on those fourth down plays. Defense has to stay out there, but for the offense, when that thing doesn't work out, such disappointment.
It can absolutely be a deflator, but how about the defensive guys? If they stop you on fourth down, they are absolutely elevated going to their bench.
They're elevated now. Big stop on fourth down. And nothing but daylight ahead. And he's brought down after a good game. And they got 29 yards there. And it's good enough for a Houston first down.
Okay, every now and then, my defensive bias will leak out here. Abysmal play for them. You got them backed up, and you let them out.
And take advantage. And you know who's happy? The punter. Because if he was needed, they gave him a lot of space to work with now.
Yeah, because he would have had a lot to think about, right? Don't step over the back line and give him a safety. Now he's got room if he needed it. That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of...
And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Houston. Their dangerous wide receiver. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Texans have taken the early lead.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And he'll give it here to his running back. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Just 1 yard to go here on 2nd down.
That was another good run, and he's having an excellent day. And right now, I don't think his team could have any more confidence in handing him the football.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set. And that's how you run the football and run it successfully. Big-time chunk of yardage picked up, but why? Offensive linemen won at the point of attack. Their leverage way better than the defenders. The low man wins when you're getting underneath and trying to move people. That's exactly what happened on that play. The offensive line moved the defensive front, created space, and the end result, a fantastic run.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll go down at the 28. It goes as a gain of 8. It moves the chains.
It was a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. 5 wides in the game, 4 of them to the right side. They'll look to throw here on first down. And he finds a man with a crossing route. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. Back now with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Austin football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Back to throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a 2nd down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
He'll drop to throw, eluding the pressure right. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Now a handoff as they run left side. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
So often you hear defensive coaches talk about we need all 11 on every play in order to be a good run-stopping unit. And sometimes it starts to sound a little cliche. But did you see the free safety on that play? Knifing through and running down the ball carrier. A huge, huge play. And when you have a free safety who can run like that, you've got to turn him loose.
And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there. A 5-yard touchdown run. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive. And how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now out comes Houston. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And a long way to go for the offense here on second down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
Third down now following the run.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup. And guess what? It's now third and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
When we sat with the coaching staff a couple of days ago, they said attacking that defensive look with a run, something they wanted to do, it was effective.
And they were extremely confident, weren't they? Their planning, their preparation, they knew what they were going to get in that defense, and they were able to attack it accordingly.
Holding offense.
So holding by the offense, and maybe now got to shift up what you want to do on the playbook.
Yeah, definitely. Change what you're doing in the playbook, but boy, the advantage shifts to the guys on defense, doesn't it? Longer yardage situations, they often become bolder.
And they'll run it here. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
And there it was right in front of us. Today's NFL, these guys nowadays, they don't just eat up space. They try and get upfield and make plays in the backfield.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on third and long. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angle.
Down the numbers. There he goes. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Texans are in for 6. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
This one taken just inside the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Texans defense heading back out now, ready to get their cracks again. And in a tight ball game like this, the defense looking for a stop. You kind of, whether you're the offense or the defense, you don't want to be the one to screw this thing up.
No, not at all. And right now, you've got to figure that the offense is thinking to themselves, if you just get us the ball, we'll make things happen for you. Just help us out a little bit. And that's what the defense has to have in mind as they trot out here for this series.
Yeah, right now the offense on the sideline. Can the defense do it? He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's brought down. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Flushed out right. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete. Offense looking to avoid a third and long. It's 2nd and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to air one out. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Now let's go. Green. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. A big connection on that one. 34 yards.
We know it's tough enough to pick up first downs on third down plays, but when you go for it on fourth down, sometimes you're actually just praying, and on that play, the prayer was answered.
They're going to look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back on Super Bowl Sunday after this. A reminder, coming up at the intermission, we'll get highlights of this Super Bowl from Larry Ridley and the crew in Orlando with our EA Sports halftime report. Only a gain of a yard there, but it indeed gets them a new set of downs.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
First down and goal to go from the 7. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. His second touchdown of this Super Bowl. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
They'll set up a throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They'll look to throw now on first down. Wide open receiver, complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He's got time. Over the middle, it's complete. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Give them 13 on the pickup there. And that'll be good for a Houston first. They were ready for what the defense was showing. They had prepared for that look, recognized it, went straight to the air, got the first. Well done.
Love the recognition because you can prepare for everything. You can watch the tape and put together your game plan, but you still have to understand what they're doing in terms of what they're showing and be able to adjust accordingly, and they did exactly that.
They'll drop to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
And a big face mask penalty here, 15 yards.
You never want to get your hands up in the face mask area because your fingers can get tangled up there, and that can hurt you as a player.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. up to throw again. And a touchdown there on the short run. So they're able to break the tie just before halftime. Now they just don't want anything crazy to happen on the ensuing kickoff.
Yeah, they want to just add the extra point, get the kickoff taken care of, and get to the locker room with the lead that they fought so hard to get.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken about the 12. And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35 and make it the 40-yard line.
Holding, receiving team.
And that right there will set him back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? The guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send the blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to sling this deep downfield. It's caught inside the 25. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done? And after that touchdown, we are just a PAT away from a tie game. And I know everyone's going to look at it and go, guess what? Tie game, all even. They just scored. If they kick this extra point and tie it, they're going to...
And apparently that's all, Larry. So much for the halftime report. We'll see in the postgame. We're ready to get to the third quarter. This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here they come, the road team now getting the football first to start this third quarter. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store.
Here we go now.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed, and that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
And with a 3rd and 13 here, the defense in a dime look. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Boy, a call like this, certainly tougher to make in a Super Bowl, but they'll go for it on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it here. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line.
And they pick up the first down on a 4th down play. I don't know if the defense relaxed because they thought maybe they'd stopped them on 3rd down or if they just didn't protect the sticks very well. But, boy, that's a big-time pickup right there.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's able to get this one down to about the 40. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
And a give this time to the tailback. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Second down following the run.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs, and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They come up in an offset eye. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A great play there from 17 yards out. And his guys are going to take the lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And this kick goes out of bounds, and that's obviously why the flag comes out here.
And now you can see the defense greeting the kicker as they go out to play. The starting field position for the offense is excellent, puts a lot more pressure on the defensive guys.
Yeah, and if the kicker thinks he's lonesome, he's really lonesome after a play like this.
Hey, he better hope that he's lonesome, because who's ever standing next to him is probably on the defensive side, and they're none too happy.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver, and almost on a direct shot, able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. They're looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. Touchdown, Houston. Their big tight end, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. And nowadays in NFL football, you have to account for all the receivers, sure, but the tight end's such a weapon, and they prove it right there.
Oh, without a doubt. And we're seeing now the golden age of tight ends catching the football. I go back to Kellen Winslow. To me, he was the prototype of what we're seeing today. We're seeing it each and every week now.
This one taken just inside the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
Illegal block on the ball. Return team.
They go play action here on 1st down. They'll roll him out right. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here.
This is one of those plays where everything went right except the finish. Got out of trouble, found a receiver downfield, but it fell incomplete.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll give it to him right up the gut. Stays on his feet. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
From our vantage point, that was just one bad play by the offensive line in a series of really good ones tonight, but I know that they're going to be really ticked off. It's a lot like a baseball pitcher losing a no-hitter late in the game.
And looking at Houston defensively, they've got a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he's eventually brought down, but not before he reaches the 39, just shy of the 40. And quickly, they get to the line. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Now back to throw. And his throw here's incomplete. They come up in an offset eye. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
The way he roared up and made that play, that tells me that he spent a lot of time in the film room analyzing what this offense does, and he saw something that convinced him he didn't have to worry about the pass. He could just go right now and make a play. I think if you're the offensive team, you better file that away a little bit. Maybe think about some play action down the road. You might catch him deep.
Throwing left side, it's complete. That goes as a gain of 36 on 3rd down. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving day. You know, when we get together this year, when the Davises and the Gardens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like. Like they're drawing them up in the dirt, and so far it's working for both of them.
It's a gain of 5, and it'll make it 2nd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's brought down. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Now that's the kind of run that fires up an entire team. Tackled at the 2-yard line. For the defensive guys, a little bit of a sigh of relief, though, that they stopped him short of the goal line. Now they got to figure out how to shore up the rest of the defense.
From the 2-yard line now, it's 1st and goal. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Back now here on EA Sports. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. They come out here in the eye. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Texans scoop it.
Well, so much for the 4-minute offense. They were trying to reduce the clock, get in position to win the game, and leave no time for them to come back and catch them. And guess what? They turned the ball over. Yeah, I mean, they had it all set up for themselves, and they let it get away.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Now they try the right side here. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to get the 1st down as they bring him down at the 23.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation. One of the beauties of a 3-4 defense is that you have flexibility with your linebackers, and you can put them in different spots. But one of the downsides is an offensive team that's committed to running the football, you can get your big offensive linemen up on linebackers quicker, and that usually gives you an advantage in running it. Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
Throwing right, and that's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And the offense will come back onto the field with a 1st and 10. Now this offense ready to take over again. And so close to hitting pay dirt last time. Fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect their psyche this time around?
It's a tester, that's for sure, because to be that close and come away with no points is really disappointing, not just for the guys on offense, but the defensive players, too, who thought, hey, we're going to put some points up and have a little momentum going. They've got to find a way to just get it out of their minds, let it go, and move on to the next series.
It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
So it'll be 1st down here after the run. Now they'll run it on the toss. It's a gain of 21 that time. And it'll give them the 1st down.
Little pitch play, toss play. Allows the running back to get some vision and some big guys to get out in front. This time they did it to the right side.
Yeah, went to the right side. Is there a preference, right or left, for a lot of these guys that run the ball at this level?
I know in the good old days, most teams were constructed to run to the right side.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And his guys are going to take the lead. He's given him a little jolt, just gave him the lead there, but 2 TDs now in the game.
And that jolt puts them in the lead. What a terrific job by him. He is carrying the ball and simply saying, I want to win.
And now he's hoping his defense has that mentality as they try to hang on to that lead. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. 11 yards on the pickup, and it's good enough for a Houston 1st down. And leading here late, so a chance for the defense to really close out this game if they can halt the offense. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Call it a gain of 3. And that'll make this a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 1. And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We're back to perhaps crown a champion after this. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going. They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. Give him 5 yards there, and it's enough for the first. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Back to throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he's brought down after a good gain.
Offense.
So a little grabbing there, but this time it goes against the offense for holding. They'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll make this a 2nd and long. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. He'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Back to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. And now they're in the hurry-up. He's back to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he gets it down to the 32. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll look to throw again. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. They're going to hurry back to the line now. On first down, he'll drop to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's brought down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field.
Green 39! Green 39!
Back to throw again. He's got time in the pocket. And that is caught. Touchdown. And they're an extra point away from taking the lead here in the final minute.
And now we get a tie game after that touchdown. And you and I both know what that means. Extra point in this situation, this little time left, takes on some extra emphasis, doesn't it?
It does indeed. Now inside the final minute. Can they get it and hold on? The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary. But you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage, look defensively. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. That's caught inside the 20. And he's brought down after a good gain. And that one results in 35 yards. And now the offense operates in the red zone. And on the ground they go with a running back. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. So now this one's going to rest on. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And his kick is good. The field goal is through the uprights, and they've won the Super Bowl. And they are the Super Bowl champs. The Lombardi Trophy is theirs, and so are bragging rights for an entire season. What a season it has been. Feels like we have been there every step of the way. Our entire crew doing a wonderful job. Thanks to my broadcast partner, Charles Davis. For all those guys, I'm Brandon Gaudin signing off. We'll talk to you next season right here on EA Sports.